Hello, everybody. Welcome to another quick video. So, my name is Marcy Melzer from wavesofcommunication.com. If you haven't found me before, just got the notification that I'm live, which means that my subscriber bell is on. So, if you are not subscribed to my channel and hit the little bell, then you might miss this video live. And I don't want that to happen. So, make sure that you're subscribed. Okay, so this is just a quick little video to let you know about an opportunity, basically for you to have some customized coaching right here on my channel. So most of you know that my mission is to equip and empower parents to teach your children how to talk faster than speech therapy. So what I am doing every week is I come live. If you've been following my channel and you're subscribed, you know that, right? And every single week, I provide informational videos to equip and empower parents to help you find speech faster than therapy. And so, what I'm gonna do, what I usually do, what I typically do with the people who work with me is I really get to know them on a personal level. That's how I'm able to customize the strategies that I put out on all these videos on YouTube to actually help individual families find success. And I'm calling this segment, I'm kind of segmenting out my videos now because I know that parents are coming to their language facilitation journey at different levels. You know, your kiddo may have some speech, may not at all. They may be 2 years old or going to be 2 years old. They may be going to be 20 years old. You may have lots of kids in your house. You may speak more than one language in your house. You may be in lockdown because of the pandemic right now. All of those things are affecting your individual life. And what I'm doing with this segment is I'm kind of taking it way back to how things are gonna go. Hey Venu, thank you for that nice compliment. Thank you so much. I'm getting more comfortable with this segment I'm gonna be doing tomorrow. And I'm going to be doing this actual opportunity, offering this opportunity for you, somebody like Venu, to get some customized coaching. So here's how it's going to work. Let me give you a little detail here. So this is how the free coaching situation is going to work. You're going to join me live. I'm going to do this once a month, and it's a 2-hour segment. It's going to be very vloggy. It's going to be very off the cuff. You're going to get to see all my intuition about it. So, hey, good morning, FBA DOS. And so I think, like I said, this is what's going to be a really cool way, because I think lots of parents, like I said, if you've been following me, you're subscribed, you're getting, checking in with me every time I pop in, you get that little notification on your phone, and you want to see what's Marcy talking about now. What if I talked about your child, right? What if we talked about individual families? Because so my community, where I have clients that work with me, they benefit so much from the coaching that I give to the other parents in my program. And that's kind of what I want to bring to this channel, is that insight, because sometimes, yes, everybody's family is different for sure, but sometimes the information that I share with one mom very much resonates with the situation in yours. Because what I like to do, and the way that I use my intuition and my speech therapy, speech pathology knowledge together, because for those of you who don't know, I was a tote bag carrying, toy slinging speech therapist for 27 years in clinics, in hospitals, and everywhere. And the place that I was the most successful of anywhere that I ever worked when I wore my speech therapy hat was sitting on somebody's sofa in their living room, talking to them about the problems that they are having in their house right now. And it was everything from mild things like my child will only eat certain foods. They're eating, but they'll only eat 4 things, right? Which is not, a catastrophe because the child's eating and they're 4 healthy things, but they're only 4 things. And that's a real frustration because they can't ever go to restaurants and things like that. So that's a real mild kind of problem that I'm talking about. But then there are more severe kinds of problems that parents cannot get out of. And no matter how many videos you watch on my channel, you may not be able to get there. And those are things like kids who are becoming super aggressive, when kids either will completely ignore their parents, or the alternative, they won't leave their parents alone. Like they're harassing them, they won't let them leave them, those kinds of things. And I've touched on a lot of these kinds of strategies, but they happen for different reasons in different families. And so what I want to do in this segment that I'm going to be starting tomorrow, I started it last month as sort of a reward for so many people following my channel with 3,000 subscribers. I know that there are people who are using my channel as their language facilitation training. That's it. I know. I learned how to get on YouTube and make a website and do all this stuff by watching YouTube videos, okay? I wrote my book and launched it myself on Amazon, learned it by watching YouTube videos. So I know that there are people who follow me with 3,000 subscribers. I know you're not all signing up for my program. And I know it's because I provide this valuable information and you're able to use it. And that's my intention. I don't even monetize my videos, not at this stage, because I know that there are parents that are watching that, when you get a taste of this, that you'll want to potentially work with me, that there are parents that really need the kind of guidance that a personalized coaching, where me sitting on this couch right here and you sitting on your couch at home and us on a Zoom call. It's not Zoom, it's a different platform I use, much more secure than Zoom. And when you and I talk about your particular situation with your particular child and your particular partner and your particular parents or their particular therapies, or all those things combined together, that's where the blockages, I always talk about blockages, physiological, environmental, and emotional. And those physiological blockages, emotional and environmental things, they come and go. Sometimes there's allergies. That's a physiological blockage that comes and go. Environmental blockages. I've got a visit with my mother-in-law coming, and she always does XYZ, and I always do XYZ, right? Those kinds of situations plague parents, worry you, leave you stuck with not knowing what to do. So that's why I want to do this segment tomorrow. So here, I'm just going to explain it a little bit, how it's going to work tomorrow, and then I'll give you a little bit more info, and then I'll get off of here today so you can get your thoughts ready and join me tomorrow for the segment. So here's how it's going to go. You join me on YouTube this month. It's going to be on the 20th. We're getting ready for a big full moon eclipse coming up in the next week. So getting your plans together this week's going to be good. I'm going to be doing this once a month in the future, and I'll let you know always the day before. I'll probably do a little video to let you know, or post something. So just be on the lookout for this once a month segment. Now, it's going to be a 2-hour live segment from 10 a.m. until noon, and it's Eastern only. So, FBA ADOS, thank you so much for that wonderful donation. I can't even, wow. I'm overwhelmed. This is the first one I've ever had. Now I'm going to get emotional. So thank you so much. Like I said, this is one way that you can give back to me. Oh my goodness, I'm overwhelmed. So so here's the thing. So like I said, you're going to join me for this 2-hour thing. Now you just got me off my game, FBA. I don't know what to do. Okay, sorry. Thank you so much. I don't even know what to say. Because I don't intend, like I said, I know that parents don't have, whatever. Anyway, thank you. I'm sorry, you threw me off. This is the first donation I've ever received on YouTube in 4 years of doing videos. I'm getting emotional. Thank you. Sorry. Okay, anyway, about tomorrow. Here's what you're going to do. So what you're going to do is you're going to give me some comments, and I'm going to tell you what you're going to do in just a minute. Sorry, I'm getting emotional. And then I'm going to show you how to use the resources on my platform, because there are nearly 400 videos here. There is a 90-minute class on my website. There are blog posts. There's a YouTube, all the kinds of things that I do. And the segments that I'm going to be doing coming up, the other segments that I'm going to be doing, the mindset segments and the tools for parents segments, those all will go hand in hand with the advice that I'll be giving parents, here on my channel. So what you're going to do, so you can get ready, and you can even start if you want to make comments. If you didn't catch this live and you're watching on the replay, you can start by posting your comments today. So what I'll do is I'll start the video tomorrow with some comments and questions that I get even on this particular video. So it'll give people a few minutes to join and get in, and hopefully I'll be able to get to everybody's in 2 hours time. So, all right, so this is what you're going to be doing. You're going to be commenting in the comments below, and it's a little bit hard because we're not able to join live, not at that level of this yet, maybe eventually. And if you want to be on my podcast, that's a whole different opportunity, but for this thing, this is what we're going to do. So what I need to know, the very basics, and of course the more information you share, the better I will be informed about your family and your situation, of course, but this is the minimum. So what I need is your child's age, and age in months. If they're 2 years, 5 months, and 2 years only, 18 months, that kind of thing. If they're over 5 or 6, you can kind of let me know that way. Now, that's what you want to do too. And then how do you know what your child wants? Basically, this is what's your child's current level of communication? And that's why I said, well, how do they let you know what they want? Because many parents are guessing, there are things, this is a way for me to find out how is communication working right now in your family. So I need a little example. So you got to tell me something like, my child drags me to things, or I always know my child's hungry because we always eat at 2 p.m. Or my child brings me exactly what they want, or they use signs, or they use pictures, or they say single words, or they say phrases even. That's how we kind of know, because this is the level of communication or the place that your child is initiating, meaning not prompted. Because when we say, how many words does your child say, then people go, well, is it prompted or unprompted or whatever? But when you look at it from your child's perspective, how do they get what they want from you? How does that work? That's kind of what I want to know, and getting what they want and an example of how that works is a way that I can tell. Okay, and then number 3, what's frustrating you? Because honestly, that's where we can find out about the mindset blockages. Is it frustrating you because your child will, like I said, examples at the beginning of this video, won't leave you alone or will leave you alone? Those are just some examples of things that parents who I've worked with in my program have told me, even after they start language facilitation, right, that they're frustrated about X, Y, and Z. So that's what I want to know on this video. What is it that you are frustrated about? Okay, and then what action have you taken about that frustration? What have you done? Because usually it is when we are in a sense of frustration, feeling that frustration, that we want to do something, right? And we have to do something, or we find ourselves at the point where we actually don't know what to do, so we just start doing things because maybe we get on Google or YouTube and start looking for things, that kind of thing. So what I want to know is, what action have you taken so far? And I need you to be honest with me. I need you to be straight and let me know that this is kind of where you are stuck, because the whole point of this opportunity for you to get this free coaching, the opportunity for you to join me tomorrow and learn more about your individual child's situation, the opportunity for that is, oops, sorry, let me just put these things away. Yeah, that is so that you can take action, right? The whole point of every single video that I provide, including this one, is for you to decide to do something, to get out of this feeling where you're being stuck. So when I understand that, that's the easiest way for me to help you. That's the most beneficial thing. Like I said, I was carrying a bag of toys for 27 years to 30 families' house a week. That was the most recent situation, but I've worked everywhere in that 30 years as a contractor. I've worked everywhere you can do speech therapy. So let's see. Not Urban says, thank you so much for your great work. We need more people like you. Oh, thank you so much. Like I said, the responses that I get from you all are what keeps me doing this. I just want everybody to be successful, and I want everybody to know that language facilitation exists, that it's available to you, that it is so much easier than you think. It's the change that's hard. The strategies are easy. Making the change is what's hard, right? So that's the thing. Do you know of any resource specialists that deal with hyperlexia? Because there are 3 types and none of the doctors really know anything about hyperlexia. I'm concerned about him not starting with the correct IEP. Right. So, yeah, great. Awesome. So we can talk about that one first tomorrow. That's a great way to start, is about hyperlexia. Hyperlexia is when kids read and write, maybe, so mostly reading. They recognize letters and numbers, they label them, they read them, and they use the printed word I like to use it, the way that I always work with kids, and we'll talk about this more tomorrow, is to use whatever their superpower is. So if their superpower is excuse me, if it's reading, if it's running, if it's eating, if it's twirling, whatever they love to do and they're great at, my advice is always to use that as a tool towards spoken language, because it is spoken language that you want as an outcome. And so when you're planning your goals and things like that, rather than looking at short-term goals and long-term goals as individuals, you should really always consider short-term goals as a process. Sorry, excuse me, nose is running. I'm so excited from everybody being so I don't know, generous and thankful. And like I said, I'm grateful for your gratitude, because I get these ideas to come and share this information with everybody, because I get them from God. I don't know what to say. I'm an intuitive person. I'm a spiritual person. And I was frustrated as a therapist because I didn't get to do this with everybody. I only got to do this with a very small handful of people in my life. And when that sort of situation broke down for me, when it didn't work out for me to be that bag toy-toting therapist where I was trying to pull words out of kids, I did it. I promise. That's how I know when therapists tell you to make your kids suffer, work for things and only give them things in exchange for I know all those strategies. I lived that life. I even gave those strategies to people. But I also learned, because after time goes by and the parents who were honest with me, like all of you are, right? And that's kind of the good thing about social media, the parents that are honest and forthright about what's really bothering them in their house. And it could be something as easy as, my mother-in-law is annoying because she won't stop pressuring him. Or, like I said, maybe your parents parent different than you do, or you hire a nanny who's different than you are, or you hire a therapist who's different than you are. Their mindset is different than your mindset. And your mindset about parenting your child, that's something that is difficult to share with anyone, right? Besides maybe your partner who also parents that child, because there are so many unique things about your relationship with your child that none of the evidence-based stuff that we learn in speech therapy school, none of that helps you with your individual relationship with your child if there's a blockage in that relationship, because you can throw a million strategies at a broken relationship and it's not going to work. And you can think about this in broken relationships in your own life. And in some way, what happens with a lot of the parents that I work with is that their relationship with their child is broken in some little tiny way. And what I have been able to do through my intuitive analysis and this sort of putting things together. Now, it comes from the experience of seeing literally thousands and thousands of families, being in thousands of homes in all over the world, all over the country, not all over the world, but now all over the, I mean, I've seen the images of video of people's living rooms, but they're not a whole lot different, right? Everybody's sofa is their own in their home, and those parents are vulnerable in their own home to the things that are going on in their own home. And without considering those things, then everything's just general, right? So that's why the strategies on my channel, even the book and the independent study course, they're all general to a certain respect because, yeah, language facilitation works for everybody. However, it only works if you have a really solid relationship with your child. And that's one of the things that I want to develop here, that I want to help all of you with. So, wow, this video is getting a lot longer than I wanted, and it's turning into kind of vloggy. But I think that's kind of what these coaching from the couch videos are going to be. A little bit more fun, a little bit more casual, a little bit more down to earth and getting into the real nitty gritty about what's going on. And I think we're going to talk about IEP meetings. We're going to talk about struggles that parents have. Remember, I've now been sitting on both sides of the table. I've been an advocate for parents on the parent side of the IEP table, and I have been literally in IEP meetings where there were a dozen lawyers and parents were fighting with schools to give them ABA back in the 90s before ABA was even proven out in Las Vegas, right? So I have seen a lot of on the ground negotiation and strategies and tools. I've seen what's come over decades and gone away and come back again as far as funding, as far as doctors and what they do, pediatricians. In fact, I have pediatricians, a couple of them in my program, who have changed how they advise their clients as a result of their personal experience teaching their late talking kids how to talk. It's my mission to change how everyone looks at late talking children, parents, professionals of all kinds, teachers, therapists, psychologists, evaluators, doctors, because when we ignore this importance of the primary relationship with the primary caregiver, right? And that's why I did this video about why tech addiction is looking like autism, because it's one of those things that blocks a relationship, right? If tech gets in the way, anything gets in the way. Physiological, environmental, or emotional blockages, they get in the way. Language and stuff, it shuts down. And so what's great about my lens, my focus for all of this that I'm going to bring to you, and then I'm going to get out of here for today. And Kelly says she's looking forward to tomorrow because she has a boy and girl that are both late talkers. Thanks so much. I'm so glad, and I promise I'll see y'all tomorrow, and we'll dig into all these for 2 hours. Everybody's problem, really what's going on, so we can find out. And you can take action, and you can make changes. And that's how all this is going to work. So I'm glad you're having fun with this. My book is called If It Isn't Fun, It Isn't Fun for a reason. And that's because when it is fun, when it's nice, when it feels good, then you don't mind taking action. And when you don't mind taking action, you do it more often. And when you do it more often and you have more fun with it, the progress happens without you even realizing it. So thanks again for joining me today on this kind of vloggy video where I can tell you about this new segment that I've got, Coaching from the Couch, coming up tomorrow. I'll see you at 10 a.m. sharp Eastern time, right here on the sofa, ready to explain all about language facilitation and dig into what's going on in your life, in your living room, to affect and potentially block, and then turn things around that are happening right there in your living room to get things positive and moving forward and getting the progress that you really want to see with your late talking child. So thanks again for joining me today, everybody. I look forward to tomorrow, as I do every Thursday, when I join you for more live language facilitation advice. And tomorrow, advice from the couch. The following weeks, I'll be back in the studio and stuff, but I look forward to this kind of chit chat and getting into it more. Thanks again for joining me today, and I will see you all on my next video. Bye for now.